the best tour guide in all the land? You are!
Me, what?
To the farm!
So we landed in Copenhagen at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday from Ibiza. So if you haven't watched our Ibiza vlog yet, it will be linked in the cards. We were exhausted. So naturally we stopped to pick up some pastries at Buka. I got a cardamom bun and a ham and cheese croissant, both of which were really good. The cardamom bun was caramelized and sticky, and the ham and cheese croissant with lettuce gave me the protein and veggies that I needed to then go back and take a nap at Natalie's apartment. Later that night, we actually went to Noma, which was named as the best restaurant in the world in 2021, and we had opinions about that spot. But I'm gonna save that for a future video, so be sure to subscribe if you wanna see that. One of the things that I loved about Copenhagen was that it's very biking friendly. There are tons of bike lanes and everyone bikes everywhere.
Lovely little, what's the word, detour. Yes. To the farm!
Our first official day in Copenhagen, and we started off with visiting this food hall / market called Torvehallerne. Get ready for a lot of really bad pronunciations coming up.
Is this called Velbekomme?
No, that means welcome.
Oh.
This place also had a bunch of other food stalls, produce stands, wine, flour. It's very farmer's market vibes. One of the things that I was looking forward to most was trying smørbrød, which is a piece of rye bread with toppings, usually some sort of pickled herring or preserved fish. The spot that we went to for smørbrød had a bunch of different toppings, some traditional, others pretty unique. We had one that was truffle and eggs, and then the other two had fish.
All right.
Cheers!
Afterwards, I grabbed a coffee from this spot called Coffee Collective. I got an oat milk latte, which is my favorite. Then we briefly walked through King's Garden, which had some really interesting statues. After that, we did a canal tour starting in Nyhavn, which is probably one of the most iconic areas of the city. There are all these beautiful, colorful houses. Our tour guide actually told us that they were painted different colors so that drunken sailors could easily find out where their houses were.
So we take that since they opened with a production of Shakespeare.
I got to see the iconic Little Mermaid statue inspired by the story by Hans Christian Andersen. One of the things I appreciated about this canal tour was just getting a bit more of a historical perspective on the city. So that was really interesting, and I learned some very cool things.
Stop on the bridge and have a conversation instead of just hurrying past it of anything in life. But he had a lot of hopes and dreams and a talent for acting. So that also didn't pan out.
Afterwards, we just grabbed a quick hot dog to nourish ourselves, you know. Eating a hot dog. There's this area of Copenhagen called Freetown Christiania. You're actually not allowed to film there, so I only got one clip, but it's known for having an open cannabis trade, even though it's technically illegal in Copenhagen, and it's self-governed and technically separate from the rest of the town. I've never been anywhere like it, so if you're ever in Copenhagen, I highly recommend you at least stop by. Afterwards, Natalie and I climbed to the top of the Church of Our Savior, which was a lot of steps, but definitely worth it. It was really windy that day, and I was definitely scared that my phone was gonna fall, but it was kind of brilliant to see all of the colorful rooftops and different houses and, you know, a high up view of the city, so I had no regrets there.
Hello. All the way on top. I left out my phone? I don't know. These are for you.
Thank you.
That's where we're going for brunch.
Day 2 in Copenhagen, and we kicked things off with a brunch on the river at a restaurant called Kaffesalonen. There are these swan boats that you can rent, and on this day it was a little bit windy but also pretty sunny, so it was very comfortable outside. I had a cafe latte, and for food I had some hummus, rye bread, other goodies. Afterwards, we explored this really cool park that had an outdoor climbing gym. It's in this part of town called Nørrebro. It's the most diverse part of Copenhagen and has a lot of different shops and restaurants.
Very elegant. Amazing.
And you know I had to get some boba while I was there. I'd been craving it for weeks, so I stumbled upon this really cute spot called Gacha Bubble Tea, and they were actually able to do my half ice, half sugar black milk tea to perfection. Natalie was patiently waiting, and in my opinion, it was well worth the wait.
Got my boba pick. I'm so happy.
Afterwards, we walked through the cemetery called Andersen Cemetery, which is where Hans Christian Andersen is buried. The greenery was really peaceful and beautiful. After that, we stopped by this print shop.
When's the last time you cried?
Everything inside was really interesting, colorful, and unique. We were doing a wine and cheese night that night with Natalie's friends and roommates, so we also stopped into this super cute wine shop called Roots. I love the vibe there. We ended up getting a couple of bottles to take back home. And then we ended the night with a nice round of karaoke. Day 3, and we are continuing to thrive. We kicked things off with a croissant and coffee from Andersen Bakery, which is a Japanese bakery. We got a rhubarb croissant and a chocolate croissant. Afterwards, we were browsing around town and picked up a quick snack in the afternoon from this brand called JAGGER.
These are hefty nuts. Ooh, I like that breading.
It's a pack full of chicken. It's really good.
It's a Nordic chain, and these chicken nuggets, I shit you not, were actually delicious. Like, so good. We also got a veggie burger, which was less good, but still hit the spot. And you can't go to Copenhagen without at least stopping at Tivoli Gardens.
Tivoli?
So that's what we did after that. We didn't go on any rides, but it was really beautiful just to walk around and see the different flowers and attractions.
What are you doing, Cat? A willow.
Before dinner, we stopped by this brew pub called Warpigs.
It looks packed.
And I had an IPA and Natalie had a gin and tonic. And we just chatted and enjoyed a golden hour. What did you say this area of town was called again?
It's called the Meatpacking District.
Oh, it's called... no, you said it had a different name.
This meatpacking, there's a name, but it's part of vestibule, which is, if you flip your phone, that's kind of a vestibule.
Yeah.
But here, meatpacking is a name called curtan.
Do not put that in the middle.
Okay. Thank you. For dinner, we went to this Italian spot called Barabba. And shared this really good bread assortment, some eggplant, some octopus. We shared a bottle of wine. I like it. And there was this really interesting pasta that we got with deer meat and dark chocolate.
Like the cavemen used to do. Oh, it's crispy.
Really?
A little bit.
It was one of my favorite meals in Copenhagen. And then I couldn't leave Copenhagen without experiencing the nightlife. So we ended up stopping at this bar called Ibiza Bar. We just can't get enough of Ibiza, you know. Dancing in the hood in the middle of a wood of an old Mustang. Ooh, I got 99 problems thinking ba. Hold up. Ooh. When you wake up, you need my hotspot. Wake up, even me and you. Afterwards, we met up with Natalie's friends at a cocktail bar called Yellow. It was super loud, the vibes were great. They had a DJ and I had a spicy margarita. After that, we ended up at this club called Blume. And we ended the night with a bunch of treats from 7-Eleven. And look, if you're ever in Europe, 7-Eleven in Europe is so freaking good, so definitely give it a go. Day 4, we were feeling just a little bit fragile and just taking it easy. This was also my last official day in Copenhagen, so we biked around and grabbed brunch at this super cute little restaurant called Baryl. I had yet another latte, and then this delicious, colorful plate. There was a little bowl of yogurt and granola. I got some avocado toast with a soft-boiled egg, and there was this really yummy salmon toast.
I'm freaking hungry. Ready to eat. Yay.
Who's the best tour guide in all the land? You are!
We ended up stopping at another bakery called Andersen Maillard, and I had a kombucha, and we shared yet another chocolate croissant. And we ended up chilling there for a couple of hours, just kind of winding down.
She's leaving me.
Overall, an amazing trip with such a special friend. You all know Natalie. So I will remember this for the rest of my life. And I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.